Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe.
We are reading the verse 38 from Milab Kusumanjali.
Jai Kishori.
Jai Gurudev. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe.
O Chanchalakshi, restless-eyed girl. Although Mura Shatru, Mohan, agitates all the gopis, I make him spin like a disc with the disc-shaped hairpins that I place above your ears.
Yeah.
O Chanchalakshi, restless-eyed girl, although Mura Shatru, Mohan, agitates all the gopis, I make him spin like a disc with the disc-shaped hairpins that I place above your ears.
Yeah.
Notes. The visions of devotional service and the end of those visions follow each other successively, creating simultaneously an amazing satisfaction and agony. This agony is a deeply relishable bliss. Although Srila Dasa,
Again.
the visions of devotional service and the end of those visions follow each other successively, creating simultaneously an amazing satisfaction and agony. This agony is a deeply relishable bliss.
Yeah. One time again, repeat from beginning. I want to explain something.
The visions of devotional service.
There is two service. One is the material service. One is the devotional service. So there are two visions. One is the material vision. One is the spiritual vision. A spiritual vision is only can develop by my self-realization. There are two identifications. One is my body identification, and body identification is controlled by ego, false ego. And my spiritual vision is controlled by my soul. So I am two persons in one body. Body is my covering. Body is a covering. I see just now, when the Mridula comes, she is living. She was with doctor in ambulance. She was air-conditioned ambulance. She was on bed. She was living, breathing. The moment the breathing stopped, they took out from the ambulance. It takes 5 minutes. And they keep on the floor. No bed, nothing. That his son said, why you are keeping in the floor? He's my mama. Then somebody said to him, doctor said, he said, no, now mama is gone. Only the body is left. Then he started crying, my mama, where go? So I can see that the respect of soul is there. We love soul, we recognize, but our false ego make us to vision to identify my senses, body, and ego. And a voice make high. And I identify and I'm living in this consciousness. So I see this, how we live in the body consciousness and how much we are suffering because of that. It's all suffering because of the material identification. The moment we realize that we are soul, my suffering is gone. When the person goes in ventilator, means he is helped by medical to survive. Means he cannot even breathe himself, right? Then I said to Prashant Bhaiya, please bring her. If she want to die, it's better to take the last breath in Vrindavan. And if she can get it, she will be lucky. And it happens, and she come here, and 3 hours she is breathing in the front of Radha Mohan and listening kirtan from the devotee. And then after 2:25, she left her body. So what I feel, many sadhu, when the time comes for dying, they bring to the hospital to Delhi for dying there. And you see this lady, when she has to die, she make the circumstances, I want to die in Vrindavan. So this soul is so pure and so nice that she bring her body to die in Vrindavan. So what is meaning of that? This soul is so pure, she never give trouble to anyone. And she is always conscious with that. And she want to die in Vrindavan. This is essentially soul. And this is a spiritual vision. I'm giving an example to understand what is material and what is spiritual. And some are living in material body consciousness with the false ego. Then what happens? We suffer for all small things. What is no meaningful. And this makes my body sick. Blood pressure, sugar, many diseases come from that. So be careful to develop a spiritual vision in life. Everyone living being has that I'm so, this is like my clothes. This time I wear the white clothes. Before I was wearing the red clothes. So is a cloth, my body. So read the spiritual vision. This is the spiritual vision to see. I give you the job.
The visions of devotional service.
Then vision is clear, devotional service will happen. And when vision is covered with illusion of false ego, material service will happen. Right? Understand or not?
Yes.
Kishori?
Yes.
Everyone. Yes. One is Japanese Kishori, one is European Kishori. Right? Yes. Kishori is divine. This is the name of Kishori Radhe. Right? Kishori means Kishori Dasi. Servant of love. Servant of Alladination. Go on.
The visions of devotional service and the end of those visions. Follow.
And of those visions. If this vision ends, we see meditate. So what we have to practice to not end that vision. We have to keep some practice on that this vision not ends. Why we do bhajan? Why do service? Why we do love and care? Because my vision has to be alive. I'm always conscious, positive. Simple word is a positive. In any circumstances, if my vision is positive, I am with in right way. And what is positive? What gives you connection with divine soul and Krishna? Because this is the key. This is the key to move on in a spiritual life. I don't know other way, because religious ways are there, but I'd say about the spiritual way. The spiritual way, when the river comes to the ocean, that is the point of the spiritual consciousness. All river, all religion come to the place that is the ocean. That is the spiritual way. Go on.
Those visions follow each other successively.
You see? What is the meaning of that? Explain. Success?
Successful.
Sex. Huh?
Those visions follow each other successfully.
Success. Life becomes success. Vibration becomes success. My thinking becomes success. All becomes successful. Right? Nandarani? Happy to see you. Go on.
Creating simultaneously an amazing satisfaction and agony.
Amazing satisfaction. Amazing satisfaction. I'm sorry. I'm an older man. I forget. So I catch you. Amazing satisfaction. You cannot believe the satisfaction, my dear. It's amazing satisfaction. Read again this line.
The visions of devotional service and the end of those visions follow each other successively, creating simultaneously an amazing satisfaction and agony.
See that?
But in this case, it means sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, sequence.
Hey, come here. Explain.
No. Just the word success.
Yeah.
Sequence.
Happy and distress both become very nice. All giving. Distress is also good luck. Happiness is also good luck. When I see you, I'm very nice. And I suffer without you is also very nice.
This agony is a deeply relishable bliss.
Yes. Before never I tested that what is the mean beauty of the suffering alone. I never relish because that love, I never relish it. When I become alone, I really relish because of that suffering. That opened my vision. I feel the value of that. How much it's giving agony, pain in me if I'm not feel it with you. Right? No?
Although Srila Das Goswami is an eternal maidservant of Sri Radhika, he always feels as if he loves her for the first time.
So good. That is the beauty. When we are separated and we miss, that love is the first time. More relishing. Separation is also relishing, and meeting is also relishing. And when we are in the material consciousness, we suffer. Separation is also suffering, and meeting is also giving suffering. And when we are in a spiritual realization, I realize the love that they before never understand. I was in some illusion before. Now I understand it. That is a spiritual way of life. Without realization is not our subject. Reading and realization. And when realization time comes in our life, that is the most fortunate time.
How to keep the realizations going?
Huh?
How to keep them?
That is the point. Keep the realization to be always positive. If you come to negative, then the demons of animal, of my snake, false ego, will bite me and poison will come there. Poisonous snakes are my false ego. No outside problem. Problem is my ego, my false snake. Then Krishna went to the Kadya Davan. He want to kill it. And they want to bind him, snakes, that I will. Then Krishna expand himself. Then blood coming out. And he's going to die. Then the wife of snakes come. And they start praying, why want to kill this? This is so desire that we have a poison. So not kill me, Prabhu. My husband, leave him. It's okay. Then he start dancing on the head of the Kaliya. What is meaning? The dancing of the head of Kaliya is Krishna. Means that my poisonous snake will not bite me when Krishna is dancing on my head. Means my name always going in my head. The inner vibration is always with Krishna. Kaliya cannot bite me. So why the chanting? Why the Krishna name? Why the positive thinking? Spiritual life is important. Because this protects us from the bite of this Kaliya, poisonous system. Right? Check. Any moment bite can come.
Раде Махарадж. Sorry. Надарани, у вас микрофон отключен, нет перевода. Раде.
Hey, Radhe, friend.
Radhe.
Like this one.
Now, Shama Sundari Das.
Shama
Спасибо.
Sundari.
Thank you. Раде. Да, все хорошо.
Yeah.
Да, все хорошо.
Now all is
No
good
problem.
with the translation. He could not hear the translation, but now it's good.
He only knows Russian. Oh, very nice. Spanish, Russian, English, Hindi, all.
Radhe.
German. So many, she's rich of so many languages. Estonian.
German, very fluent.
Wow.
Although Srila Das Goswami is an eternal maidservant of Sri Radhika, he always feels as if he loves her for the first time, regardless of what condition he is in.
First time love, why? Is always fresh. Love goes only first time. It's never become old. When love becomes old, it's not love. Love is first time. All is fresh and new. That's it. They will never become old. First time meeting means first time love. Even the Dasi also every day serving, every day meeting, every day doing house seva. That is the first time seeing you, my dear. That's the beauty. So love has to be the first time for Radharani. That feeling has to be there. First time love. I never see you. I never feel you. I never understand you. First time I have to do.
At every...
Yeah.
Yes, good.
Go on. Yeah.
At every moment, the awareness of a lack of direct meeting with the beloved deity awakens in his heart.
Yeah.
How great is his agony.
Yeah.
I have fallen on the bank of your lake. Please take me to your lotus feet, knowing me to be your fallen maidservant.
Yeah. I'm not qualified. I'm very fallen. I have no qualification. But one thing is there, that you accept me like a master. That is my good agony, good luck. And that makes me alive in spiritual devotional service. You accept me after knowing that I have no qualification. I'm useless, but you accept. If you don't accept what I am going to happen, that is your mercy, Radhike, that you accept me. And your acceptance is, I'm living in that pride that you accept me after no qualification, that you are my Dasi. That is only hope in my life.
The neophyte devotees must learn this eager devotional longing from him.
Oh, I'm doing wrong. This is not my job. This Gaurav Sundaraj organized something to translate. Today I explained this. Now it inspired me after a long time. I share something. Now you share what you want to share. This is your class. Sorry, excuse for mistakes. You do on. Go on.
No, Gurudev,
Yeah,
please
I want to.
continue. We are missing your words, Gurudev. Please continue. Please,
Okay, give
Kishori,
my.
continue.
My Kishori is there. All you are there after a long time to me. I was so much missing. So give me a chance. No problem. Yeah.
The life of a devotee is naturally full of thoughts of the beloved deity.
Yeah. Full of thoughts with the beloved deity. Other thoughts, how can come? If other thoughts are coming, then I have no love and I have no beloved deity, any redemption. Careful, my dear. No thoughts can come and no give the chance to come. That will catch you to bring material world. Be careful. Sadhu Savdhan. If you are sadhu, you want to be spiritual, careful. Thoughts, only your thoughts, only your thinking has to be there. Other thinking, how entering inside me?
The life of a devotee is naturally full of thoughts.
Natural is not unnatural. Natural means natural. Other thing is unnatural. Devotion is natural. It's a nature of the soul. And because of that, I'm full of that thoughts, natural thoughts, not unnatural thought, purity. not in suffering. Yeah? Yeah.
The life of a devotee is naturally full of thoughts of the beloved deity and nothing else.
Nothing. Yeah. Wow, Kishori ki jai. Yeah.
His mind wants nothing and nobody else.
Yeah.
Such intimacy with Sri Radharani cannot be attained while being engrossed in the mundane kingdom.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Very good. What is the mundane kingdom? Suffering kingdom. If you have no experience, one day experience, you can enjoy that. Enjoying suffering is also enjoying things. Mundane kingdom, suffering also you can enjoy it and throw it out. Garbage is a mundane kingdom. We're not interested in this kingdom. And why it is coming? Sometime in our life, mundane kingdom to enjoy, that suffer and satisfied, not to come again here. If you come, more to suffer. More to suffer. And if not, then more shocking suffering. This is the mundane kingdom. And if you not understand that, one day soul will go out from the body and only flesh will be there. This mundane kingdom has to go in ashes or in the fire. Go on.
A person like me has left all his kith and kin far behind to go to Braja, where his mind became absorbed in thinking of temporary things.
Wow.
I am living in Vrindavan, where the birds are singing Sri Radhika's glories,
Yeah.
where the trees and vines shudder out of love for Sri Radhika, and where each speck of dust is sprinkled with the Mahabhav that emanates from Sri Radhika's foot soles.
Wow.
Where is that realization? Sensitive devotees experience the real form of Braja, but fellows devoid of devotion see it as just an ordinary, mundane place.
You see, kingdom of our past body.
Mundane kingdom.
Mundane kingdom is alive with my false ego. All things, vision is changed. So what they do, when you go to the Santali paper, Rasika paper, they check you, which place you are living, which place and which area you are living, which senses you are living. All they check. And then they check how he is in Sarupa Avesh, soul Avesh, or body Avesh. So what he will ask question from me, from that place. So they understand by looking to them, and they answer immediately, and they know relate. If they have no desire to be in the soul Avesh, or Sarupa Avesh, they are not interested. No interested. They are not want to involve, because even the saintly people, they will bring to the mundane kingdom. Because they will talk about mundane kingdom. They are praying, how quick I can be free from this circumstances. They are not interested because they are wasting time with the mundane kingdom because it is totally influenced with that. Be careful. Be careful, my dear. Very crystal clear. This is the beauty of writing of Anandas Babaji. You can judge. I will judge myself and what I want to do. I can do it.
Therefore, the aspirants should give up their material conditionings and bring in their transcendental conceptions.
What? Again, repeat.
Therefore, the aspirants should give up their material conditionings and bring in their transcendental conceptions.
No clear voice. His speaker changes.
No, stay
not our
internet. That's right. What is this? Can you say
hear?
the word?
Therefore,
No, it's the internet.
Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, now. Yeah, good.
Therefore,
On.
the aspirants should give up their material conditionings and bring in their transcendental conceptions.
Wow, very nice. That I want to listen many times. My God. Again, one more time.
Therefore, the aspirants should give up their material conditionings and bring in their transcendental conceptions.
Yeah. So good. This is very, when this comes transcendental, internet become not acceptable.
True.
Why? Because we are not ready to accept the truth. And then I'm very sick. What to do? No.
The soul thrives on prema rasa and must relish.
Prema rasa. 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 Raso Vaisa. Krishna. And prema means Radha. Prem, when is not there, rasa will never come. Is a mundane with circumstance. The moment I lose the prema, rasa is gone. Senses cannot give the rasa. Rasa is Krishna. Raso Vaisa. Senses not give the prema. Prema is coming from Radha. In my life also I try to find prema in the senses of many places. It's bogus. It's never happened like this. It's a kaka and pipi. What in morning time?
Yes, urine.
Ash and urine. These are the senses, are the ash and urine. Shit. What is the shit
Mundane.
Yeah. Morning time. What the class was there? Huh?
Ashes.
No, morning, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Japanese class.
Mana Shiksha, verse 6.
Mana Siksha.
Verse 6.
Verse 6. If you lose the spiritual thing, you come to the ash and urine. Kaka and people. Ash, urine, ash. Ash means gadahas. Kaka and shit. Mind become mad. Who took the burden and carried the load of all that ashes. These senses make you ash. And you go for the urine and kaka. This is the circumstance. Wife become burden, the children one by one. Your load will be higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and go on. But when you are a spiritual person, Krishna took that burden. Sri Radha. This is the Krishna's family. When Krishna is in front, that's a Krishna consciousness. When the plastic body and senses in front is a material front. That I listen 100 times. But that moment I understand to realize it, that is the right moment for me. Listening is no value when realization is not coming. 100 times I listen, but never realize. But the moment I realize, my life changed.
When this moment will come?
That is Radharani can give us. Yesterday, Jananda said, Sarv dharmana partajye mam ekam sharanam bhaja. Then he said that Radharani, ekam mane Radha, Sadhu Maharaj said. Okay. But Krishna said, I took all your burden. He had this line, I never realized this. He said, he took all the burden. When you go, Mam Ekam Sharanam, if you go to the center, take the center of Radhika. The moment you take the center of Radhika, Krishna took your burden. And if you want to hold that he leave it. You have to believe it, that his responsibility. I am Radha Dasi, his responsibility. But his responsibility. That is belief. Then our life is a smiling life. There is no burden. Why burden? There is no burden. Go on.
The soul thrives on...
Soul. 100% I'm asking to the listener, how many times you listen this? 1,000? And you realize it, and you are living, you start living in this?
No.
If you're not living, then you will not listen. The day you will start living in this, you listen. That is what is a fortunate moment. What was
incredible?
Yeah. What, Kishori? Astonishment. That astonishment has to come.
Honey wine.
The moment.
Honey
so
wine.
Many times I said to me, Amazing. Yeah, astonishment. The moment you realize is astonishment.
Amazing satisfaction.
Amazing satisfaction. Really satisfaction. The moment you realize that I'm a soul and you start living in that, you see amazing satisfaction. And that is Jaiva Dharma.
And that is honey wine.
Honey wine, that is the honey wine.
No, soul is divine.
Soul is divine.
Soul is divine.
Soul is divine,
Swarup is
but Sarup is honey wine. Yes.
Sri Radha.
You see, it's so nice, Harikatha, no? That I say soul is honey wine. No, soul is divine. But Sarup will make you to honey wine. You like to see that honey wine. Honey and wine. Why you bother suffering? You drunk, it never go down. Honey wine, you drunk and never come down. Whole life when up you drunk honey wine, you will never down. Wine can make you 4-6 hours on. Maybe 10 hours on. The wine can keep you on. In soul. But honey wine, if you drink, keep your lips there whole lifetime.
stay high forever, never come down.
High. It will hold whole life. Yeah.
The soul thrives on prema rasa
You
and
see?
must relish that.
Yes, my dear. Jai Kishori ki jai.
And attain the honey sweet association of the divine couple.
Yes, he and you I understand. That only while looking, it will not go down. Only watching here will make you all the time drunk. They don't know. Innocent people, conditioned soul, they are so much ignorant. They are very satisfied with wine. I am praying, so much suffering. Only they want to forget something. We also want to forget something, but we are not interested in this wine. Divine or honey wine. Yeah. Right?
Jai
Yeah. Go on.
Sri Dasa Goswami sits on the bank of Sri Radhakund and weeps for want of the direct, personal service of Srimati Radhika,
But
to whom he has offered his whole mind and heart.
you see how much we offer. What mind I give and what I heart give to the mundane world. And I give, my dear, mind and heart. You, my son, you are my boss. You are everything. Why I am mistake myself, giving uselessly. My heart and mind is all yours. Atma Nivedan, Pujan Sakhigan Atma Nivedan, Prabhupada's song, see. Atma Nivedan, mind and heart giving is Atma Nivedan.
The Goswamis have taught by example that if the mind wanders off elsewhere, Swamini is running off.
Yeah. Other place, then Swamini goes on. You want to miss your Swamini. And if you miss, you will suffer. That is sure. Because Swamini is the giver of feelings and love. And without feeling and love, there is no spirituality. Then you will become religious person. Give and take. Decide. Give your mind and soul, heart to her. See the small baby, they give their mind and heart to the mama. Totally silent. Like a child. Child is a very, very good example for children. They are the teacher of us. For my children, for they come, they have all entry free, my bed, every place, because they are my teacher. They teach their tolerance, ignorance, love, totally simple heart, kindness, all they teach. I need their vibration. I have many lollipop and toffee. Only that I can catch them, they can come here. And I want to feel that vibration. How to become like a child. Bible says, when I was child, I see face to you. I grown up and I make covering in between me and you. What is grown up? With the ignorance I grown up. My foolishness I grown up. Right? I not grown up with the reality and truth. Oh, time is go on. Go on.
Why won't I become absorbed in you? Why can I not make my life?
Because of your love, I want to observe on you. Because my feeling is becoming more intense and I am observing. When I'm listening about your glorification, I'm observing slowly for you. And why we need the association like all of you, Rasika, because you inspired me to be share for the Radha Swami. All of your help is a Rasika association. Understand? If you not come to listen, how I will get this chance to develop myself? Gaura Sundara, Gauranga Sundara, why not you say something?
I don't want to say anything, Guru.
My God, you become angry to me?
No. No. I'm just drowning in your words. Radhe Radhe.
Why can I not make my life a full success?
Wow, thank you. My Kishori, I love you. You're saying this. Yeah. I'm proud of you.
I read this, Gurudev.
We are reading from ourselves. Go on.
I will purify my muddy mind with this Mahavani.
Jai Radha. What it mean, muddy? I listen, muddy means when you go there to take other, they will also pull you there. And you want to come out, you go more in there. This is the muddy. We want to come out, but we go more in. We want to come out, we go more in. We want to come out, we go more in. Without of other help, this muddy place, you cannot come out. Somebody will throw you the rope. If you jump there, he will also go there. He will not come out. He can throw the rope, not in going in mud, and he can pull you out. Because mud nature, you want to go out, it brings you in. This is muddy. This is muddy mind.
Thank you, Gurudev, for throwing us the rope.
Yes. When the rope I catch and I try to come out, little I come out, then somebody will pull up and we can come out from that. That is our muddy circumstance. Yeah.
A person who thinks like that is a Bhakta Vira, devotee hero.
Yeah. Oh. So decide today and become a hero. My dear, listen, be a hero. Decide. Bhakta hero. Bhakta hero.
Bhakta Vira.
Bhakta Vira. Yeah. Decision makes you Vira power.
Sri Raghunath's life airs reach his throat when he suffers the pain of love in separation.
Yeah.
Just then, he gets a vision.
One thing, there is no separation if you not have a meeting. If you have no love, you never feel separation. And when you have a feeling and love, you feel burning separation. And who realize the separation, he don't know the value of the love. Separation make you more strong in love. That is the beauty. Separation, that separation make you strong, your love. Real premi, real lover can understand only. Who not understand the value of love, they will not taste it. That's a Rasika Bhakta, who know the value of the love and meetings, and then they feel separation. Then they know the value of that love, what is in the time of separation they feel. Thank you. Go on.
Sri Raghunath's life airs reach his throat when he suffers the pain of love in separation.
Wow.
Just then, he gets a vision. He is no longer Raghunath. Now, he is Tulasi Manjari.
Yeah, that is Sarupa. Without separation, your Manjari Sarup will not have it. And when the separation come in life, it means time of Sarup is coming to you. You are a luckiest person. Most fortunate that you feel that separation. How Radhika is feeling for Krishna. Without practical realization, you not experience that separation. And without realization, you not understand value of that word. Then it becomes philosophy. It's a booky knowledge, not practical experience.
Applied science.
Applied science. Applied science? No? Practical. European world, many places, applied science. Gopinath always. One is normal degree and one is applied science. Right? Yeah.
Now he is Tulasi Manjari.
Yeah.
Swamini, I have put these hoop earrings above your ears. How wonderful is the slight smile that appears on Swamini's face then. When the spotted moon in the sky sees Radhika's spotless face, scented with the rasa of laughter, he must cry. Tulasi serves without hesitation, and Swamini also accepts her service without hesitation.
Sri Radha.
Is this only a mental concoction? She accepts all service rendered within the mind.
You see? And mind become working different departments. Our mind can work like this for her. It's a mental service. Mansi seva. And when he's not fit, how he can go there? Only thing is teaching of Raghunath Goswami, Manasiksha, teaching to the mind. We have to teach our mind here. He is the best friend. He is non-cooperative to us. How he will become really friend, and you behave like a friend to the mind. False ego is controlling, is not friend. So fight is there because influence of false ego, mind is living there. And when he will become your friend, false ego cannot disturb that. And this mind has to be very peaceful and free. And we become so busy, we keep the busy to my body to identify my material body and to use my mind so much that we only want to engage in material thing, mind and my material body and my senses, because this is influence of false ego. Mind has to be totally free and body has to be used in the service. Devotion, service means one is selfless service, one is pet service. We do the job, is a pet service. No problem. But if you give the body relaxation, free rest, then they will do only sense identification job. And if you busy this body to earn money through the office, no problem. And you can do with this more higher selfless service. But always use your body in the service. And mind has to be peaceful. If you go to the bed, then what they suggest you, head has to be cool. When the head becomes hot, you're sick. And the stomach has to be warm and soft. Why? Because this is the Vaishya. If he's hard, rough, they will not get the food. It should be soft and warm to digest it. And feet has to be warm. If the feet is cold, dead person. Only the coolness is needed on the head. It should be peaceful and cool. If you want to make warm to the head, all kaput, all finished.
Sri Dasa Goswami personally relished the sweet rasa of devotional service.
Yeah.
And taught in Mana Shiksha.
You see, I say Nama. Read the Mana Shiksha and see that I follow that way. If you follow all that, this, all Japanese are very clever. And Guru is brilliant, intelligent. You know, Nanda Jananda, because Narayan Maharaj is Prabhupada, he see all the faces and he is taking the cream from that and he wants to give to these babies, Japanese baby, who don't know what is the food to eat. Everything is the fish. Everything is vegetarian, non-vegetarian. No meaning for them. So innocent. And they start understanding the value of kirtan. They understanding value of life. They understand the bhajan value. They never leave the japa. See the beauty and the power of Jayananda. How much he has a mercy inside that he gives and the life is changing. And you see, my foolish, I give so many people and nobody can realize it. So who is more mercy and powerful? My Jayananda. Because he changed and realized, educated, and all knowledge, full knowledge, all qualification, they don't want to change. And he changed everyone's life. You come and see them. I surprised, my dear. I think that my bhajan is someplace missing and he is more elevated because this is helping to the Japanese. You know, he's changing, you see. Many are changing. Many has some bad qualities, difficulties, many things. You see one Japanese girl, she is, come near. She is, I give her 3 years before Mangala Aarti. You see, how many times? 3 times he gave that to her. Talk, ask question to her. You see?
Radhe Radhe Didi.
Radhe Radhe. Dhanyavad.
Radhe.
You see this? Natural.
Hola. Sayonara.
Natural 6 times Dandava. You can see that? How ego can stay there. It's not unnatural. It was I don't say anything. 6 times I see.
The life of a devotee is naturally full of thoughts of the beloved deity.
Yes. And full of thought. So there is no chance to other thoughts to come in. How full other thoughts are coming? Then there is something is there. So other thoughts are coming. Right? One more thing I say. I went first time to Japan in 16. And I said, Jayananda, which time is the class time? I said, 1.5 hour. European classes, right? He said, Gurudev, we start class from 8 to 12. And we have a 1 hour lunch. And you rest 1 hour. And 1:30, again class will start up to 5. I said, what? What? 8 hours only every day? I have no practice to do so long. He said, this is the program goes like this 8 hours. And they are not only listening, they have all copy, pencil, pen and paper and everything. They are serious. 8 hours with all computers, pen, pencil, everything. And the tape recording, everything ready. Japan, technology, modern. And I said, Jayananda, it's not my practice to do that so long. 1 hour, 2 hours, I can do it. He said, no problem, I will manage it. Like this. But slowly, I learned from Japanese Totally. If they want to learn, they are serious to not halfway full, done. They want to know, then no. Go on, sorry. They don't give time. They don't give time for other subjects when they want to learn this, that I want to say. Yeah.
No other thoughts in the mind.
No other thought that time.
Sri Dasa Goswami personally relished the sweet rasa of devotional service.
Yeah.
And taught in Mana Shiksha, elaborately serve Radha and Krishna in Braja.
Yeah.
Serve the heart's friend of Sri Radha within the mind. He will accept it all.
Why in mind? Within in mind. Because when your sarup is not there, you will practice in mind. Because sadhak deha is purusha abhiman, male body. Plastic body is my male body. Only my spiritual body is my soul body, gifted by Radharani. That's his sarup. What they say? Ananda's power. Which body?
Mentally conceived.
Say na yaar, you're sitting so far, you are.
Mentally conceived spiritual body.
Mentally conceived. And thinking on and on for that. That becomes so.
If we compare it to cooking milk, and we want to make kheer, so we cook, and it becomes condensed. That's the way to think.
And you think other thing, then how it will cook here. We have to give time here to cook. It's spiritual, mentally conceived, spiritual body too. Right?
If we want the kheer.
We want the sweet life. And Nandarani, yes, make her yes or not. Yeah, good. You see, innocent, they don't bother what is happening. This is innocent. Yeah, go on.
This mental service is the very life force of the externally rendered devotional service.
Yeah.
Srila Rupa Goswami has proven from the Padma Purana that one who always serves Lord Hari mentally has direct association with He who is otherwise not perceived with material words and mind.
Wow.
In his commentary on this verse, Srila Jiva Goswami quotes the story from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana about the Brahmana from Pratishthanapura who mentally offered hot kshira, sweet rice, to the Lord, but burned his physical finger by touching it. The condensed form of smarana is dhyana, meditation, and the condensed form of meditation is spurana, transcendental visions.
Wow. Underlined it and sent to everyone to meditate it. What you think, that transcendental vision comes to you.
Srila Raghunath Das Goswami was a living example of that. It is mentioned in Bhakti Ratnakara that he became sick one day. So Vittalnath, the son of Vallabhacharya, called for a doctor who said that Raghunath Das was suffering from indigestion.
He never eat anything.
Vittalnath, who knew that Raghunath Das was renunciation personified and that he hardly ate anything at all, refused to believe that, but the doctor insisted. Raghunath Das then confirmed the doctor's diagnosis, saying, "It is true. I had mentally ordered Hira, sweet rice, to Radha and Krishna, and I mentally ate too much of the remnants of their enjoyed food. This is one of several occasions in which the mental contact with God becomes physically manifest."
Radha. That to understand. The day I will understand, all things will change. Anybody what is there? Rituals and this and that, externally, physically, is all mental service. Bhajan and your service. Inner life. Yes, 10 minutes more.
In a vivid vision, Tulsi places hoop earrings above Srimati's ears. Srimati is still absorbed in the placing of the jewel string on her left arm. Her body consists of bhav, and it is as if she searches for someone with her restless eyes. Tulasi attracts her mind by saying, "Oh, Chanchalakshi, restless-eyed girl, hey Shamachu, your eyes restlessly go here and there, mistaking every object to be Mohan. Hence, I call you Chanchalakshi, or restless-eyed girl."
Why restlessness? Where is my Shah? Where is my Shah? Is restless to see one point. Our eyes is restless for material suffering, and we suffer that. Rest, when the eyes will fix for the Krishna, never suffering at that. And when my eyes is fixed in searching to the material pain and pain and pain is there. Like somebody is burning you. Fire, like that. I feel it. I feel twice. Go on.
Swamini says, "Tulasi, for whose sake have you ornamented me?" Tulasi replies,
One point, you're Krishna without us. Go on.
"I will make Murashatra, who agitates all the gopis with his matchless, all-attractive beauty and sweetness, spin around you like a disc."
Yeah, it's spin. Like you make the spin, the children make it spin. I will make him to spin around you. I will do this. Tulsi Manjari say, I will make you that is spin around you. So I ornament you.
When he
This is
cannot,
Manjari. Huh?
when he
We
cannot,
are creating the ornamenting to Radha that he's been around you. I decorate like beautiful so nicely that your Mura, Krishna, he will spin around you.
when he cannot find his beloved anywhere, he will come to you spinning and spinning.
Yeah.
That Mohan, who is very anxious to meet Radharani, is very dear to the Manjaris.
That is Manjari. This is the greatness of Manjari. And this is the gift of Chaitanya. And that is Rupananda. There is one class. When say about that?
There is on coming Wednesday, I think it's the 17th, Jagatam Mataji has invited Gurudev to speak about Rupa Goswami. There is, I think, a 3-day conference organized by disciples of Srila Narayan Maharaj Goswami. There will be like over 3 days, 40 speakers, and also Gurudev will speak at 5:30 Indian time. So we will put the link and the exact timings on Radha Dasyam. We'll post it there. Yes.
It was short time, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Short but sweet.
But Rupa goes.
Western world only can listen 45 minutes.
Yeah.
More capacity.
Yeah, go on, complete it. Very short left.
The Kinkaris are very proud of the sweet form of their mistress. And they say, I will bring Mura Shatru here, spinning like a disc, by attracting him with these disc-shaped hoop earrings.
My God. You see? Manjari. To whom? To Krishna. Yeah. What you start with Supreme Personality of God. This Manjari said this. Okay.
Spin.
Spin. Yeah. He will dance around you and want to attract you. So I decorate you today like that. That he come and spin like here. Yes. Complete it. Only a few lines.
In Purva Raga, Aduti describes Shama Sundara's condition to Srimati when he anxiously searches for her. Oh, Radhe, when Krishna sees the golden garland of champaka flowers that Subal gives him, his mind trembles and tears of passionate love flow from his eyes. Oh, beautiful, fortunate girl, your form always awakens great love in his heart.
Yeah.
Day and night he murmurs, Rishabhanu Nandini, without saying anything else. Although hundreds of thousands of fortunate girls speak sweet words to him, he does not listen to them even in dreams. He can only pronounce the first syllable of your name, Ra. But out of ecstasy, he cannot pronounce the other one, Tha. His eyes carry streams of tears. That jewel of men rolls on the ground. Who can describe his distress?
This is also one distress. He, Supreme Personality of God, is in distress.
Govinda Das submits this news about Kanu, Mohan, to your lotus feet. Know that he feels miserable and that only your grace can destroy his suffering.
Only you can help. Understand?
Tulsi says, although it is just an insignificant ornament, it will still cause Krishna to spin around after I put it on you.
Understand, Kishori?
That was my intention.
Yeah.
I wanted
of the service of Kishori. Oh, Radhika. Sorry.
I wanted to agitate him and make him spin around like this, searching and searching for you until he meets you. Mohan is very dear to the Manjaris when he becomes anxious to meet Sri Radhika. The heart of the Kinkari is filled with pride when she sees the sweet form of her mistress, and she says, these disc-like earrings will make Mura Shatru spin like a disc and bring him to you. How many hundreds of experiences of Mohan Tulasi gives to Swamini in this way. The word Mayaka in the text is a sign of humility. I am not qualified to serve you, but you are all merciful. And you have accepted this sevaka, maidservant. Although you are anxious to meet Shyama, I have not been able to bring him here. How unfortunate I am. Despite all this, you are full of love, prema mai, and I have placed these disc-shaped hairpins above your ears to pull Shyama towards you, spinning and spinning. I will agitate even Mura Shatru, who can agitate all the gopis.
You see, all the creation, the beauty of my song. How it's been like. It's been like what?
Like a disc.
This.
Yeah. Near to my song. We are so lucky. Radhe Radhe Govinda